the ground and said it's safe. We're
of guests now. We've finalised with Stuart Castle-Dine, Steve Davis, Ewan Thomas and Mike Smith. Get your calls rolling in for them. Meanwhile, Tom has got some very fit-looking folks over in the scene dock. Tom.
This is Paul Connolly, who's a Boxerobics expert, yeah?
That's right.
Not only do you take classes, but you take classes of teachers to teach people Boxerobics.
That's right, teach the classes, yeah.
All right, now, at first glance, what sort of exercises boxers do to train to box? So how does it differ from that?
The only thing we do is we modify a lot of the exercises so that, that everyone can do the exercises, because some of the exercises would be too hard for most people to do. So we modify a lot of the exercises so that everyone can do it.
Right. So what we've got there is we've got them working individually here, but when they're actually doing your classes and learning box, they're in pairs of two, don't they?
That's right. We partner up into pairs of twos. Not always doing the same thing as their partner. Sometimes they're doing different exercises, but what happens is they just swap over on the second side.
Yeah. What we've done, we've taken the most exciting looking aspects of what you do, and we've put it on the telly because that's what we like. But there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't actually see here, isn't there? Like warming up and everything. That's quite important.
It's always a good warm-up, always a good cool-down.
Right.
There's lots of different stuff going on. Cardiovascular blasts, hit different body parts.
What's a cardiovascular blast?
Well, a lot of people can cop out on the circuit, can work at their own pace.
Yeah.
So we have blasts in between circuits so that people who are taking rests, we make sure they work in between the circuits.
Right. It's all very... It's one of the stuff we can look at like this, you see. Do you want to take us through it? We've got... is it Claire skipping over here?
No, this is Natalie.
Sorry, Natalie. Sorry, Natalie. I thought you were Claire. What's she up to?
Basically, skipping's very good for the coordination. It's also very good for reflexes, time. Very cardiovascular demanding, so it works the heart and lungs.
Heart and lungs. That's the most important exercise you can do, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it was developed by boxers years ago when the weather was too inclement to go outside and run and stuff.
And the aerobics part of Boxerobics, that is the cardiovascular aspect.
There's lots of body sculpting as well, and there's lots of groundwork. There's lots of different stuff going on.
Right. Natalie is playing here with the washing line. She's lost her washing. No, that was Natalie. This is Claire.
That was Natalie. This is Claire.
I understand that. I'm starting to see.
Yeah, when young boxers start, they haven't got very good head movement. This teaches them to move their head. Yeah. She's throwing uppercuts and crosses and working up and down the rope. Okay, so basically, it's again, it's a fat burner. It's lots of hard work.
How's this one helping Joe Public?
Basically, just again to burn the fat, and it's just a fat burner, basically.
Okay, and then over here we got Leah. A name I got right. This is Leah. What's happening with Leah there?
Again, this is pad work.
Right, I understand.
People can't just walk into a class and do the class. They have to do what's called an induction, where they're taught the basics of boxing. They have to strap and tape their hands up. They're taught basic jab-cross combinations of different types of combinations. So obviously there's a skill factor in the class as well, because it's a sport-specific class.
What's this helping Leah with? Her lungs? Giving her big, strong lungs?
Again, it's cardiovascular, but it's also body conditioning, which is tone. There's lots of conditioning work going on as well.
Paul, we're going to chat to you later, because I know you've trained some big stars from the States. We'll talk about that later. But in the meantime, back to Dan.
Well, actually not.
OK, well, I'll see you later. Gazza, too much is being made of Gazza's insults to the Celtic fans. His contain enough cells to know how to insult people. I think Steve Davis is great, right? Jimmy Nymph. And finally, Will Carling. Don't quit, Will. You're already a legend, but your flare's too bright to burn out. Put the wind of 57 farts into your sails and stick with... OK, we'll move on now. We've got some Men in Black coming next, which is different from black men, so John Motson will be able to tell them apart. That's singing for you now.
All right, Tom, I've got it wrong every time so far. I think you're in the facts area.
That's right, I'm in the facts area this time. Connolly, I'm going to talk to him in a minute about show business. Ah, yes. But I've got to read this facts out to you first. It says, read this out, you bastard, otherwise you're being racist to the Welsh. Right, racialist. Not only is he putting PC pressure on me to read out his facts, he then goes on to say, have any of your viewers got a in brackets, no Arabs? So not only is he forcing me to read out his facts by accusing me of being racist, he then goes on to be racialist. Who's it from? Do you know, I'm not even going to read out his name because he's a bad lad. Don't put any... We'll read out the best facts, not the ones that we're forced to read. Paul, we've already... the Boxerobics, right? We've established that it's good for fat burning on several occasions, right, during the first piece. But there's a showbiz element too. I mean, you were out in LA with Al McPherson and all that business, weren't you?
Well, it originated in LA, this type of class.
Right.
boxing circuit, and then the ladies got involved, and that's how...
White collar boxing, that's like all your managing directors knocking 7 bells out of each
That's right, yeah. Mickey Rourke was one of the main promoters of it in the States.
Hang on, let me just pick that name up you just dropped. There you go. You used to work for him, didn't you?
That's right, yeah.
So you were like his... You worked in... What, he had a gym and...
He's got a VIP gym out in LA,
right.
yeah, and I used to work out there, training most of the stars, like Michelle Pfeiffer, people like that.
So, what, Michelle Pfeiffer? Who else?
Elle McPherson.
Right.
Paulie Yates.
Yeah. And boxers too, yeah?
Yeah.
And there's a big pile of names there, just in between your feet now. So, as a result, I mean, do you train them personally? Do you train them for films as well, or just...?
Yeah, I trained stars to put weight on them and take weight off. And...
You had to put some weight on Elle McPherson?
Yeah.
I'd like to put Elle McPherson, my 11 stone 10. But,
£21.
You put a £21 on her, right, but then you had to get it off at... Is that right?
For a modelling contract, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and as a result of that, you got the lead making the video for Boxerobics.
That's right. Up and down the country and just train instructors.
Fantastic.
And supply and design and fit studios.
Yeah, why do you think, just before we leave it, why do you think it's so popular with the stars?
Well, on a one-to-one basis, it really does. There's nothing better for body conditioning. So it gives you longer, leaner muscles, great stress relief. It gives you more confidence, and obviously there's a self-defence aspect.
And I understand it's great for fat burning. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks very much, Tom. And all right, we need to go back to the scene, Doc, where Tom, you're up to something.
Hi, Dan. I'm just helping Leanne here with her exercises. It's cardiovascular. It's very good for her lungs. OK, stop there. Stop there. Paul, this is very interesting. It's like that, but lying down and established. This is good for burning fat. Yeah.
No, this isn't actually.
Really?
It's an abdominal exercise.
How does this work?
It's called punch crunch.
Punch crunch.
Yeah. What she's doing is she's flexing her abdominals as she's letting the shots go into the pads.
Right.
But she's having to pull herself up with her hip flexors and flex her abdominals. It's anterior all round the sides, the obliques, because she's having to reach over. Yeah. It's a very, very demanding exercise. You've got to have really good abdominal section to work this.
Carl, do you want a quick look at this one over here with the medicine ball going on? What is that?
Again, that's an abdominal.
Yeah.
What Claire's doing is catching the ball, pulling it back into her abdominals and throwing it back. But it's again, it's a toner and a shaper. We're gonna have to come clean. I mean, normally this is done with a medicine ball, and a lot of boxers will be watching, going, they're faking it, aren't they? Yeah. We forgot our medicine ball. We forgot our medicine ball. You chuck it in. It's not a medicine ball, is it? That's clearly not one. It's part of a floor-to-ceiling ball. Well, unfortunately, we didn't have one in the stores. But anyway, so that's it. And this is all. I mean, this is all part of Boxerobics. Yeah. Which exercise you aerobically, but tones your body. Body conditioning. Conditions your body. Yeah. Longer, leaner muscles. Self-defence. Full body conditioner. And makes you hard. Makes you very hard. Big in America. Yeah. Very big. Back to you, Dan.
OK, thanks for that, Tom. It's all going very well when we're watching those. Stuart Castledine has asked me to point out that he used to do a bit of boxing himself, and he has his gum shield with him. So maybe in the last 50 minutes of the show we could see him doing a little bit of the old boxercising. Over in the website. Tommy.
The top 10.
Oh, hi there. So I'm chatting to... We'll buy you off. She's in the top 10 in the country, the fittest top 10 women. Yeah. I mean, actually, not like the fittest top 10 women, you know. And I've just been on the fax machine. That's great. Oh, hi again. Hi. 0171 222 8454 is the number to fax us on. So
pretty sneakily, we'll be sneaking off to his fur-lined hammock.
In a sneaky way. Which just leaves me time to thank all of tonight's guests. Stuart Castledine, Steve Davis, Ewan Thomas, Mike Smith, Paul Connolly, and, of course, our cheerleaders. Right? And don't forget, you can write to us, thank you, girls, with your opinions. Send your postal orders to Under the Moon, P.O. Box 11221, London W69GY. I'll read that again. Under the Moon, P.O. Box 11221, London W69GY.